Can you hear me?
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi Meg, you right? Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Oh, it's lovely to see you.
I see you.
Lovely to see everyone. Just gonna, okay. Hello, everyone. We're on the last day. Woo! Can't believe it's session 7. Sad times. So we've done so much this week. So, oh, hey, Afia. How are you? Nice to see you. Um, We've done so much. We've covered a lot. You've all turned up. You've done a lot of work. You've learnt the lead method. So we've gone through the framework of how you can build your sustainable, enjoyable business. Limitless mindset, your elevated offer, your authentic selling, and your delivering excellence. So you now know what's going to light you up for your business next year. You now know how to combine that with something that's going to be fun and also really sustainable for you in a model that's actually going to deliver those numbers. Because we talked about one-on-one and how you can get to 100K doing one-on-one coaching or consulting, but you're going to probably have to do quite high price points or be really, really tired. So having that hybrid approach is really important. It's going to look different for everybody. It might be a hybrid like my group, which is very customized, but group. So you get a bit of one-on-one plus a group feel, or it might be a membership with a little bit of group coaching. So whatever hybrid looks like for you, or indeed, if you just want to go with something that's scalable, I think that's the main thing, is just choosing something that can grow. So you start it off to a place where it can expand into later. So we learned that. We've learned all about how to master your messaging and your content with the 4x4x4 framework. So you have a really set schedule of things that you can talk about. You should be having content ideas popping in now from all over, and get them down on paper. Make sure you're putting them in a calendar, in a planner. We talked about your authentic selling and how you're going to get those leads and where the traffic is and how your ideal client, where they're hanging out online and what you can do to find them and really message to their pain points and to their needs. And then we talked about the CEO mindset. So I'm going to be talking about that again today because I didn't record it. And in fact, I don't think there's anyone here who was on yesterday, which is good. Afia, I think you may have caught this yesterday, so I do apologize if this is going over that again because I didn't record it. So I'm going to do it a bit more quickly. Okay, cool. Okay, awesome. A bit more quickly, but firstly, from everyone here, please, like the second part of this call tonight is going to be about your questions. So any questions you have from the week, anything that you've been thinking of, any of the content that you've been stuck with, go ahead and put it in the chat. Let me just make sure my chat is visible so I can see who's typing in, and then just put your questions in, and we're going to be going through questions. We might have some hot seats, we might have some interaction of like, let's talk about how it is, because it's going to really help everyone else in the group to concentrate on someone's challenge, and then they can learn from it too. So have a think about what you want to ask me. If you don't put them in the chat, I can then find them from the group, because there's been loads of questions just coming through DM and coming from the group. So you can, I will have questions to go through. So that's cool. But if you want yours answered, just pop it in. Okay, so session 6. Employee mentality to six-figure CEO mindset. Okay, so this is not what you would expect in terms of the things you think you need to get to $100,000, pounds, whatever, and more, multiple six figures. It's not what you think it is. It's not a strategy. It's not a tactic. It's not a tool. It's not a software platform. It's none of these things. It's 3 mindset shifts that come from you. And the first one is the who, not the how. And Sarah, I apologize because I know you were on last night. So this is going to be repetitive for you for the first 10, 15. I do apologize. It's the who, not the how. So who can you look to learn from if you need something done, if you want to excel in a certain area, if you're aware that it's not your biggest strength, but you really need to do something to push you forwards in your business, I want you to ask yourself, who can help me do this? Not how do I do this? And when you start applying that mentality to your business, that's when everything suddenly takes off. That's when the wheels suddenly just like literally lift off the runway, because you're elevating into your CEO status of making things happen the fastest, best way possible, instead of being stuck in like, oh, I don't know how to do this. This is a nightmare. It's going to take me forever. Think about who can support you. Who can you learn from? Who's been there before? Who is an expert in that specific thing? If you want to run Facebook ads, I would urge you to go ahead and hire an expert. Or you can spend a month learning how to do Facebook ads, but your time is the most valuable thing. So always have this mentality of, how do I get there faster? How do I spend the least amount of time in the most effective way? So the second one is, I want you to move from implementer, so doer, to innovator, thinker. Your business success is built on your vision and your ability to communicate that vision to everyone in it, and to your clients and to your audience and to everyone in the world. So it stands on the strength of your vision. So when you think better things and you think bigger things and you have bigger visions and dreams, that's when you're going to go faster. It's not by doing the thing, it's by thinking the thing and then finding how to do it in the quickest way with the who. Is that making sense? I feel like I just spoke a kind of really cryptic sentence. No, it's all making sense. Good. And the third one is taking you out of the manager role and into the leader role, because people need a leader. Your clients need you to be a leader. They need to trust you. They need to know that you know your stuff. They need you to have that confidence for them when they don't have it for themselves. But you also do need a manager in your business. You can't just have a business full of visionaries. It would be a nightmare, because nothing would ever get done. So you need to have the implementer, the integrator, but you also need to be the visionary. And at the moment, that might just be you doing both. So make sure that you time block thinking time and doing time, because you can't have powerful thinking and you can't have powerful ideas and new concepts to bring more value if you're constantly on the rat wheel. Rat wheel? Hamster wheel. I don't know what a rat wheel is. The hamster wheel of doing all the stuff, like all the tech, all the Canva, blah, all that stuff. You can't have excellent thoughts when you're doing that stuff. Okay, so the pillars for a six-figure CEO mindset, aside from those shifts, which will take time, it will take practice, but just thinking about that, just even being aware of it is really powerful. The pillars for a six-figure CEO mindset is going to be time, treasuring your time. And Brandy, you've listened to this before yesterday. So again, this is going to be repetitive for the first 10 minutes. I do apologize. But the second one is building for scale. So I don't think that's necessarily what comes into people's minds when they start a business, because there's so much firefighting and there's so much going on with actually just getting the thing moving, that you're not looking to a year, 5 years in the future. You're not building the systems that are going to support the growth for 5 years down the road, which is going to mean a lot of headaches and time and money spent at that juncture when you outgrow your current model or you outgrow your current systems, because there's only one of you. So if you are setting up systems that are all reliant on you flicking a switch, it's going to be a real nightmare when you go on holiday and you feel like you can't detach from your phone or you can't detach from your laptop because everything is down to you. That's going to really burn you out and make you feel tied to your job and really chained to your business. It's not fun. So building for scale before you even get your first client is a really smart move, because then when you grow along and you grow sustainably, and you don't have to rip it all up and start again when it all gets too big for you to handle by yourself, when you're fulfilling like hundreds of things and you're sending out deliveries or whatever it is you're doing, you're recruiting like 10, 20 people into your programs in a day. Like, just think about those things. So treasuring your energy and your time, and treasuring your energy is, for me, I've found the thing that works, which is sleep. Really need 8 hours sleep a night. With a toddler and 2 big boys and all the rest of it. That doesn't always happen. So it's never going to be perfect, but sleep, exercise at least 20 minutes a day. It could even just be a walk, whatever, just fresh air, eating the right things. I really love my food. So food's really important. And having some kind of mind development always. So really good books, really good novels, not even business books. And I like to switch off and give my creative brain some time as well. But figure out what makes you feel really good. What can you tap into and start doing, and just cultivating those habits that make you feel really good? Because the better you feel, the better you're going to think, the better you're going to perform, the better you're going to serve and show up, because you are so important. And I think as mothers, lots of mums here running around looking after kids all the time, can be very difficult to prioritize yourself as the business owner and yourself as a woman to actually just do the things that you love to do. So, I mean, it's the perfect excuse. You can just say, I'm a 6-figure CEO, so I'm sorry, I've got to take a spa day. That's entirely in my kind of agenda for the next 6 months. So the fourth one is, Amy is saying, yeah, me too. The fourth one is what makes the boat go faster. And this is about thinking about failure in a different way, figuring out what's succeeding, what's not succeeding, and not attaching any personal story to it, because it's not a personal story. Things just happen or they don't happen. Things go well or they don't go the way you planned. So when you attach a story to it about you, it becomes very personal. It becomes very wrapped up in all of your feelings. It's sort of a negative spiral. So having a layer of detachment about why it didn't work, and actually taking the view of the CEO or the COO of a huge company, and actually saying, well, why didn't it work? Let's have a look at the numbers. Let's look at the stuff we can measure. Because if you go by, oh, it's not worked out because I'm rubbish, and that's just not true for a start. It's also not helpful because it's not data, it's feelings. And yes, we will have feelings about it, and they will probably be horrible feelings because you feel like you've failed, or you feel like something's gone wrong and you feel disappointed, but that won't help you make it better next time. What will is just realizing where it went wrong and just thinking, hang on, maybe it was something to do with the numbers of people I was speaking to, or maybe it was to do with the kinds of people that I spoke to. Maybe the Facebook ads weren't the right message. Like, when you actually have a level of detachment, it really helps, and you can start to see the things that make the boat go faster, which could be a whole number of different things. And there's a lot of trial and error. But when you do see the thing that sticks, you just refine and get better at that thing. So what's the next one? Lost my bit of paper now. Okay. And the last one, community and support, really important. So of all of the kind of 6-figure, 7-figure entrepreneurs that I follow, and I'm not going to say I know, because I don't have a circle of multiple 6-figure ladies that I hang out with yet, which I will do very soon. But all of the ones that I follow and I respect and I like and I understand where they're coming from, and I actually think that they have, great messages. They literally all say, don't do it by yourself. You can't do it by yourself. Even if you think you can, you probably can get to 100, 200, 300,000 and create the impact you want doing it by yourself, but it's really not going to be as fun or as fast. And I don't think people understand this. It's about the fun bit, but it's also when you elevate to surround yourself with people who are doing the same thing, who can help you and support you and have your back and understand what you're going through, you get so much more inspired, you get better ideas, and you actually rise to meet them. If you're, and I know this from my own personal experience, your family or your friends, if people don't necessarily understand what you do, and from my current group of friends, not many of them do. There tend to be mums who I met at school here when we moved, or my old school friends who are doing very different careers, kind of they just don't know what I'm doing. They have no idea what I'm doing. So it's really hard. Obviously they're being supportive, but they don't really understand it. So that's why community is really extra important. And Kim and I used to work together. So we have a kind of mini community from LinkedIn and of all these people who hang out together, and we're all doing different things, but it's just really nice because we've all kind of struck out in different directions to work for ourselves. So that was my first little mini entrepreneur network, really, which has been amazing. So finding yours and finding your, you know, your friends and your people who are going to raise you up in this process is really, really important. Cool. So that is essentially the kind of a whistle-stop tour of the CEO mindset and shifts. Anyone have any questions? What are you thinking about? How does that make you feel differently about things? Does it make you feel differently about how you've been running your business in the past? I would love to hear. It's been a real eye-opener for me, the failure thing, because I would get really disappointed and feel really I never wanted to give up. I think I'm quite like a Taurus in that respect, because I'm quite sort of astrological. I quite like my star sign. So I'm a bit like a bull in a china shop. Like, I don't give up. I'm quite persistent, but I did feel really disappointed. And I did feel like really just disheartened when things would go wrong. But having that kind of rising up and just thinking, let me look at this like a business owner would, because I am a business owner, and let's not get bogged down in the mental drama, basically. If not based on you, if you're a coach. So Afia, I'm just wondering how you can practically make a business not based on you if you're a coach. Okay, so just like developing a different brand. That's not you as a personal brand. Is that what you mean? You can unmute. Go ahead and unmute. It's fine.
I didn't want to unmute because I have the children in the background. So I'm so sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
How you were talking about like a business. Let me show you. Just hold on, please. You know how you've got like you were saying that a business.
Yes, stop hitting me.
How a business shouldn't be centrally based on you to stress you out and overwhelm you. But if you're a coach and you're providing one-to-ones,
Yeah,
I can't see how it could not.
yeah. No, I
Does that make
completely
sense?
understand. Yeah. Okay, so there's what I mean by the detachment is, of course, it's you, it's your personal brand, and it's you as a coach. So it will feel personal. Is that what you mean? Like when stuff goes wrong, it does feel personal because it's you. Yeah.
But also, you know how you were saying that a lot of entrepreneurs say just don't do everything by yourself.
Yes.
But how can you not if it's all on you? Do you know what I mean? If it's your brand, everyone wants to speak to you. They don't want to speak to like somebody else.
Yeah.
That's what I was just.
Yeah, no, totally makes sense. So that's the reason why I say having a scalable business. So if it is just one-on-one, you want to make sure those one-on-one clients are paying you enough so that you don't have to work 10 hours a day, because you have other things to do in your business aside from serving them. You have to find the new ones. You have to do business development. You have to do marketing, messaging, blah, blah, blah. So you have a ton of other responsibilities as well as serving your clients. So for that reason, having a model that's either very premium one-on-one, so that you have the time and the money to do things or outsource things, or have a scalable model where you have group and an element of one-on-one inside that to give you more time. Because you either pay with time or you pay with money, essentially. And when you don't have the money, you pay with your own time. When you do have the money, you pay for someone else's time to help you. I hope that does that answer your question? Okay. But also, like, when it is a personal brand and when it is you, it's really, really difficult to get that level of detachment from success/failure, whatever you want to call it, because it feels very personal. When people say no to you, it feels very bad. And it does feel like an attack. Sometimes the rejection can be really hard. So that's why having a slight view of you are not your business. You are providing a valuable service, and the service was right for them or the service was wrong for them. It's nothing to do with you. Maybe you can work on your skills on like how you present your value and how you present the service, but it's not an attack on you, and it's not a rejection of you as a person. And it's really hard. It's super hard for me. Like every no, I feel a bit like, actually, I'm getting better, but the more offers you make, the more no's you will get, and the more yeses you will get. So it's literally just, you have to ask more and more people, and then more people will say no, and that will feel a bit rubbish. But the more no's you get, the more yeses you get. Okay, awesome. So Kim, my business is being an implementer. How do I have more? Okay, that's a really good question, because so Kim's business is she runs ad operations for LinkedIn. So she is very much the doer and the implementer. That's what she provides, is the doing. So the way to look at your business is the doing part, which is what you do, but also the vision part of where am I taking this? What does next year look like for my business? Who are my clients that I want to work with the most? How do I attract the ones in that are the most fun for me to work with? What solutions can I deliver to my clients to package up my services in a really cool way that maybe give me more time off? How do I value, like, how do I add more stuff into my portfolio or my kind of package offering that's maybe going to be massively scalable, that could create passive income for me? Like all of those sorts of ideas that take you out of the doing, because your job is very much, you know, that's what you do it day to day for your clients, is you're delivering a service to them. So having some time, I think, to think about the direction of your business and how you want it to feel. And I think day one, like that dream business model, probably coming back to some of the notes you made from that. Does that help? Yeah, okay. Awesome. Okay, cool. Any other questions? I'm loving this. So I have friends who are businesswomen who are coaches, and we share ideas and support each other. It's brilliant. It's so important, Mia. And I found recently, I've really found people actually locally to me, which I wasn't expecting, who are coaches too, and women who are doing amazing things. And honestly, it's been a complete game changer, because we just go for walks and have chats about what we're doing, sharing ideas. It's really nice. And it always helps that they have children as well, so they can kind of do play dates and stuff. But yeah, it's a really lovely thing to do. Yeah, the play dates. Okay, fab. So where are we on time? So also, because we're in session 7, I wanted to talk about bringing it all together. So how can we bring together everything from days 1 through today into a commitment statement for you and your business in 2021? So we've gone through the method, we've gone through the kind of the mindset and the strategy and the sales piece and the how you're going to do, literally how you're going to do it, the roadmap to get you there. So I want to really ask you to make yourself a commitment statement. And by this, I mean literally writing down a sentence or 2 sentences that is going to be like your thing for next year. It's going to be what's going to carry you through for next year. What are you committing to do now? Because you've been doing so much this week. You've been working so hard at all these ideas have come up, all these creative, inspiring things. You've had so many ideas and breakthroughs, and everyone's been amazing and sharing with all this stuff. And I was literally listening to some voice notes on my phone earlier, and I was just blown away by the vision, massive visions and massive goals. But what are you going to now do? So I want you to take a moment and think. You don't have to write it down. Just take a moment and think, what is your commitment to yourself today? It's December the 20th. I was going to say it was January the 20th for a second. It's December the 20th. You have the whole rest of your life before you. What's your commitment to yourself for this year? What words are going to be your words for this year, and how are you going to show up for yourself every single day? So my commitment statement for me, just so I will share with you, is I commit to having my own back 110% every single day. I commit to serving my clients and my audience to the highest of my abilities, day in and day out. And I commit to delivering more and more excellence. And the ways I'm going to do that is by constantly keeping myself in that CEO mentality, looking after myself, bettering myself, reading, doing all those things. So what's your commitment statement and how are you going to do? Because it's really good listening and it's really good learning and it's always lovely to get together, but the action really has to come from you. So how do you keep yourself moving? Okay, awesome. Have a think about it. It's really important. And I think having some time to really sit down and think, what will keep you going? What's going to keep you going? Like a week after this has finished, 2 weeks after this is finished, 3 weeks after this is finished, what will keep you going to that, keep you to that commitment statement? And it's going to be different for everybody. It might be you want an accountability buddy. It might be that you create your own Facebook group and you keep the atmosphere and the community going in there. Like, what does it look like for you? And how can you keep yourself on track? Okay. So does anyone have any questions that you want to type about any of this week? Anything coming up? Oh, hi, Esther. Nice to see you. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for coming. Any other questions around business models, around content, around strategy? Everyone feeling super excited to start with their income goals? Don't be shy. Okay, I'll read out some questions I've had on DM instead. Okay, so I've had a few questions around, okay, this is a good one, around how do I meet people, potential clients, if I love face-to-face and if I've only found my clients through networking and through social interactions, and I've done a little bit of Facebook and I just don't know how to do them online. So that was something that came up from someone today, and it's a really good question because so many of us have had to pivot and sort of move into more online or even 100% online. And I know that there are some people in the group who have had just networking and in-person communications to get clients. So if that sounds like you, there is a few things to remember to get you started on the right track when you're doing your literally growing an online audience for the first time necessarily. Like it might be the first time you've even posted or been on Instagram. Some of you, this is not going to be relevant, but if it is, then a really good place to start is remembering that people are normal human beings, even if they're online. Like speak to them as you would speak to normal human beings that you would see anywhere. Don't start conversations with completely random questions, such as, so tell me what your biggest income goals are for the next 6 to 12 months. I mean, literally, I've had DMs of people sending that to me without even saying hello. Like, what? Who are you? People are normal. It's not different. Marketing is not different online. And people say it is, and it's absolute nonsense. It's the same. It's the same thing that people have been doing for hundreds and hundreds of years, which is teaching people stuff, showing them how you can help, and making sure they understand the value of what you do. It's literally the same thing. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you're on LinkedIn or Instagram or Twitter or TikTok or in the supermarket queue. It's exactly the same. It's just you've got to be more visible online because you're not right in front of them. So you have to go to them. You have to make sure that the algorithm or the platform you're on sees you delivering value, because then it will show you more of the people who like your stuff and it will show you to them. So there's like smart ways of doing it online to get really good engagement and to get ideal clients. And it's built on that ideal client that you have and you finding a few of them and being highly, highly engaging and valuable to them. Because then when the media giants see that people love your stuff and people are looking at your stuff and engaging with your content and loving your group and answering your questions and you're using DMs and stories and all the rest, they will show you more people like that. So you become so much more visible. So there's like the tech side, which is that kind of thing, but then there's also it's just the same as normal people in normal life. Okay, so that's a really good one. And that got me thinking as well about how to sort of not beat the algorithm, but how to really sort of play the different platforms really successfully, which is a whole different topic. But there is subtleties within the ways that people use the platforms. So mastering one, absolutely, really, really super important. Have that as your home on social media, have that as your place, and then think about where you drive everyone to that place. So does that make sense? Any questions about that? Because there was a really good question about Instagram versus Facebook. So where you build community, and I see the Instagram community as being one to many, as in your community is just you speaking to lots of followers. So they can't speak to each other. They don't support each other. They don't network. They don't really communicate. It's very much like your audience and you speaking to them. However, Facebook is so much more of a nurturing platform, I think, because people can speak to each other. So you can really grow this community feel and this amazing different environment. So they work in very different ways. But that's why I love Facebook groups. And some people absolutely love Instagram and they do their entire business off Instagram, or they just do LinkedIn exclusively. So it's completely up to you. But that's where I find having one main place and then driving other people, like all the new leads, new prospects, new people to that place. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about which day was it now? So the kind of traffic and the leads day, I feel like we had quite a lot of time on that. So about your ideal client, where to find them, how to drive registrations for launches, because I think that's definitely an area, especially if you're going to be launching in January, how you're going to do that. So if you have any questions, have a think, drop them in. And while you think about your questions, I wanted to talk about my client, Kerry, who, now I'm going to try and do this. I'm actually going to play a recording because she couldn't be live because she works crazy hours. She's got like 3 different jobs, 2 different businesses, 3 different businesses. She's a very busy lady, but we did a recording earlier of her just talking about what it was like working with me. And I really wanted to share this with you. So I'm going to see if I can do this. So bear with me because Zoom is not usually my best friend in terms of actually managing to do stuff. But what I can do, okay, I'll probably just try not to chat to myself too much while I'm doing this. Oh, I know how to do it. Just going to pause the recording for 1 second. Share screen. All right, I'm going to see if this works. How are you doing? It's lovely to have you
Good.
here.
Can you see?
Thank you. Good morning on this Saturday. Lovely. Thank you so much.
So I wanted to bring Kerry on because we've been working together for 4 weeks now, and I would just love her to tell you guys a little bit more about what it's like to work together and how she's found it. So Kerry, can you just tell me what was going on before you and I started working together? Briefly.
Yeah, so honestly, it has been something that I've always sort of thought I needed, because I've got quite a number of business interests, and I was really struggling to kind of get my head around, what my priorities were and build a business that I wanted to build. So I really needed some help kind of getting myself together and helping me to set some goals and to kind of get just started on a positive upward trend, rather than me just faffing around and not really knowing where to start, which was basically me for the whole beginning of the year. So that's how it was before we started working together.
Okay, and what was it that made you take the leap and go for it in the end? Can you remember what you were feeling at that point? Like, what was going through your mind?
Yeah, so I think trying to do too much for one thing, and I guess it just hit me that I wasn't achieving anything. I was trying to do so much and not achieving anything. And I think it was our initial phone call. I think you joined one of my networking calls, and having that kind of chat with you on that call just made me go, you know what? It was one of those light bulb moments of I really need to actually do something, because I'm just going to keep going around in circles. And I really felt a good energy from you. So it was something that just seemed like a natural, right, now's the right time. You know, when something, you just wake up one morning and you just think, yeah, now's the right time to do that, whether it's moving to another country or you just have to wait for that time. And one day you just go, yeah, this all fits together.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, that's so great. And I do remember having that conversation, and it's, you know, Kerry didn't jump straight in. It was very much like we had a chat, you had a think, you really like sat with it, you took some time, and I'm so grateful that you did, because I want to work with the people who want to work with me. So I like taking that time for me is really valuable. And can you tell everyone just a little bit about like the first few sessions, how everything has been going, like what did you want to achieve and what have you achieved so far towards that?
Yeah, so I think I was struggling with a couple of things. And one of them was some technical know-how in terms of using, the whole coaching process and me and trying to get my head around how to do my business. So I wanted some technical know-how as well as the motivational know-how, and just actually someone holding my hand almost, which is it's kind of helped me to evaluate how I need to go ahead, and I've learned so much in that sense. So what we were doing was looking at what I wanted to achieve and setting some goals into how I can achieve that, but also some absolutely amazing advice and things that you've learned and you've tried before as well. And that's what I'm looking for. So not just the, yeah, what do you think you should do, or how do you think you could do this better? There was that as well, but things that really worked for you that I could try and implement myself was really valuable.
Amazing. So where are you at now? Like what have you seen as a result of our work together? And it's only been a short time, so of course like 4 weeks isn't going to be, you know, I haven't done the 12-month program before, so Kerry can't speak to that, but I would love, you know, her to give you an idea of what you can expect when you work together.
Yeah, so we had weekly phone calls and loads of communication throughout the week, and that's what really helped me. So we set some goals at each of the calls as to what I was going to do next week. We talked about the different techniques I could use, how I could present myself on the calls that I do, how I could make better presentations, and also about how to follow up, what kind of Facebook posts to do. So it was really a lesson in how to prospect and attempt, in my case, to close close sales, but also to kind of network. So we'd set everything up in the week before and then have loads of chats during the week about how I had achieved anything, what I had achieved, how I would do it. And I just really felt that you kind of had my back in a way, so I could just drop you a note, say, right, I just had a chat to this person. What should my next step be? Yeah. And once we sorted out what the next step would be, then I would put that in my repertoire of, okay, so next time I do that and this happens, then I'm going to do that. So I've kind of got a roadmap now, even though only 4 weeks, it was still really valuable for that roadmap that I have now.
Amazing. And what would you say to anyone who's really thinking that they want to work with me and get the support? Like, what would your advice be to them?
Yeah, so Meg, you take things really seriously when it comes to helping other people. So you put a lot of effort into building the relationship and really get behind other people's success. So I really felt you were on my side and trying genuinely to help me grow my business. And I think that's something that you feel as a personality as well as the kind of actual doing. So I think that's so important. And I got on with you really well. And I would love to work with you again in the future, just because I feel that we have a connection that maybe sometimes you don't get with other people. So it is all about working with people that you like and that you get on with, and people that you can trust. So I would say definitely, go for it and see how it all works out, and just put your faith in Meg, because she's yeah, really, really helped me. And I'm going to be putting into plan everything that I've learned over the last 4 weeks. That's me for the rest of the year done. And hopefully, yeah, we can continue our journey because I'd love it. Absolutely love it.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Kerry. And can I just say that Kerry is like an absolute superstar in terms of implementation. Like you just do it. It's amazing. Like the commitment and focus, and I can see so much in like 4 short weeks. Your growth has been like absolutely astronomical, just in confidence, in just knowing what you're capable of has been amazing to see. So thank you so much.
No, thank you. Yeah, I feel so much more confident in what I'm doing, and learning from you has been an eye opener.
Thank you. Oh, well, thank you so much, Kerry. I appreciate you.
All right, thanks.
Did that work? I've stopped sharing now. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Like you can tell, Kerry and I just got on so well. She's amazing. She literally has, I think it's even 4 businesses that she has. She's got a really successful cleaning company. She has 4 different other businesses online, and she works. So to the point of thinking kind of like, will this work if I'm busy? It's kind of like if you are a busy person, you absolutely need to maximize your time that you are spending in your business. So that's where this support, I feel, really comes in, because not knowing where to focus your time is one of the biggest energy and time sucks there is. So having a pure focus, and that's what Kerry and I found working together. She was like, right, I've got 4 hours this week. Literally, she had 4 hours to put on this business we were working on together. So we would map out what she was going to do in those 4 hours, literally week in, week out, because she wanted to have like a really clear to-do list of, I know I need to do this. I know I need to speak to these people. I need to speak to this one, this one, this one, this one. And then we would catch up, and then she'd reach out during the week and just say how it was going. So I love that kind of energy and commitment of, yeah, I've only got 4 hours, but we're going to make sure those 4 hours are absolutely smashing it. And she did absolutely smash it. So anyone have any questions about that, or how that worked? And obviously I would so love to welcome any of you into the group, because I feel this level of support is really, really hard to find in other groups. And I've done my homework. I've looked at a lot of group programs for myself as well. When I was researching what program I wanted to do, I knew that I wanted it to be very customized, but I didn't want a very customized price tag, to be honest with you, because there are so many coaches I would absolutely love to work with, but you could work with them one-on-one for an enormous amounts of money. I'm sure it's worth it as an investment. However, for my stage of business, I didn't yet have that really to put into my business. So I looked at their group programs, which seemed very low touch. And by low touch, I mean, it was pretty much a program like a recorded training thing with maybe a check-in once every other month, which wasn't enough for me. So that's why I've designed the program that I'm launching now and will be launching and doing. Literally, that's the thing. That's one thing that I'm doing. I'm not doing anything else. I've designed it for that reason, because I like to have customized strategy. I don't want someone to give me a cookie cutter strategy and just say, go and do this, because I don't think it doesn't sit well with me. And I wouldn't ever do that to my clients. I wouldn't ever say, you have to do it this way. I want to have that personalization. So when you join the program, if you're going to sign up this time round or next time round, or when you feel like you're called, that you're going to step up into your next level, what you get is, it's like 12 private coaching sessions with me over the year. So looking at it from a year's perspective, it's 12 individual sessions. So that's private sessions, 45 minutes, 1 a month, goal setting, strategy setting, everything that you need to be doing for the coming month. Like what's been challenging, what's been hard, where do you feel you need to make some changes in your approach? And we do that together. And you also get 45 training calls, group training calls, because I'm going to have 7 weeks holiday. I've just planned them out. I've just put them in my planner for what I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but I'm going to go do something fun. But within those 7 weeks that I'm not here, you're going to have an associate coach, someone from my network of very highly respected coaches who I absolutely would trust you with and then with you. And you're going to have pre-recorded. But for the 45 sessions that we are together, over the course of a year, you get really intensive support and training. So we would do the strategic update, what's happening in the industry, in your industry, what you need to be aware of. Obviously, with the US and the elections and everything that's been happening in the world, you want to be tuned into that and make sure that your offerings are not really tone deaf for what's happening in the world, because I've seen that happen, and it's really, you have to be aware of what's going on in the market and what's going on in the industry to make sure you're not coming across the wrong way, basically. But we also do like a deep dive on what we're going to be talking about for that month, or even for that 2-4 weeks. Sales, it could be authentic messaging, it could be your offer, but we go really deep in that session. And then you also get 45 coaching calls, group coaching. So you get the teaching, but then you also get the Q&A. Because when it's just pure teaching and pure knowledge, it's really tempting to not do it and literally just turn up for a call, write down lots of notes, and then turn up for the one the next week. And then nothing gets done in between, and then suddenly freak out and think, I haven't done the things. So we have an hour of Q&A and hot seat. So you actually get time with me, you unmute, you come onto the Zoom, we talk about what's happening for your specific business, and everybody gets time. If we go longer, we go longer. So everyone's there to have their voice heard, to feel seen, to feel supported, talk about their own challenge, and actually get feedback from the group as well. So we can all help each other. And if anyone's done group coaching before, you'll know that when people ask questions, the answer that you give them, everyone else is learning from the answers too. So it's a really fabulous way of integrating the info and making sure that you get it done. So you also get access to the library. So if you've ever stressed about templates, emails, funnels, sales scripts, consult calls, you name it, like literally how to write a DM that doesn't feel spammy and salesy, it is in there. You can literally download that stuff. I have sheets and sheets and sheets of things to support you, so you can literally make a copy and use them in your business. So you don't have to spend time faffing around in Canva. I've done the faffing for you, so you actually have stuff that you can make your own. Of course, you make it your own, but you can use that from as soon as you get into the program, which is so powerful, because I don't want anyone here to go through the stress and the frustration of not knowing how these things work, because it prevents you from serving your clients. Oh, hello. Thank you, Christy. So what else do you get? You get the implementation. So I'm here, I'm actually checking in on you every single week over voice note. You will get a reminder, a check-in, what are you celebrating, what's coming up for you, what's feeling challenging, and that's going to be over Facebook Messenger. So you get a voice note to keep you on track. You message me back, I message you back. So you have that support ongoing throughout the entire year. I take weekends off. Just FYI, usually it's Sunday night now. I do appreciate this. Sounds weird. I do take weekends off normally. So 5 days a week, you've got that ongoing support, which is super valuable. So you can get direct feedback on things. Like the Facebook group as well. So we have a community similar to this, but this is closing down tonight and everything's moving to the private group for my clients, because I really want to focus my energy on helping them the best way that I can. So I need my energy to be purely with them. But in the Facebook group, you can post anything that's coming up for you, any tech issues, anything that you just need someone to help with immediately, anything you're stuck with. And I respond pretty quickly. I'm in there, just tag me, make sure that you tag me in so that I can reply. And when my team grows, Obviously, I'll be introducing you to my new members of my team, my virtual assistant, and probably a tech assistant as well. You can tag them in and they can help you with any of those issues that are just keeping you struggling with something in your business, because that's my intention, is that you don't have to, that you literally don't have to struggle, because it's all there for you to support you through. So what else does it give you? I think the most important thing of being in a group like this with women who are amazing and have big goals and really just want to go there faster and get there faster is you get to do the thing you're here to do without worrying about all of the other stuff that gets in the way, without worrying about the complications of how do I reach 100, 200 people to fill my launches so that I can serve my clients. Really want to be there for you to help you get through that, so that you know how to do it, so you can literally focus on the stuff you do amazingly, which is being there for you and your clients and being there for your audience and serving in the highest possible way. Because all the rest of it, the business building, I love because I really enjoy it, and so that's my jam, and I love helping people do theirs. But I do understand it's not everybody's jam. Not everybody loves social media selling. Not everybody loves to design and market and message and create content. And that's why I'm here to help you do it. So, does anybody have any questions about whether it's for them, anything coming up for you that you're feeling unsure about, anything at all? I'm here. I am live. I'm here to answer all and any of your questions, because there's been so much information. And I was having a conversation yesterday with a lovely lady here, and she said, I'm really worried because it's so much, it's just so much information. And I had to take a moment and just reflect. And my answer to her was, of course it was, because I'm trying to cram a year's worth of content into 7 days. So I think she thought that literally if she joined, then it would be like this for a year. It's like, no, this is literally, I'm trying to help you understand what we would be doing. It's not going to be this intensive. It's going to be supportive, but the pace that we go is very much dictated by you. So it's dictated by the people in the group. And I very much want to see people where they're at now and make sure they have everything they need for the exact stage, which is why the customization for me is really important, because I don't want anyone ever to feel like they have to sit back and they're scared to put up their hand and they're scared to ask the question because everyone else seems so much further along, because that's not a good thing, and you won't get the value and you won't get the learning and you won't get the support. So my absolute goal is for everybody to feel seen, for everybody to feel supported with what they're doing, to never feel judged about where they're at, to never feel like there's a stupid question, to feel they can always ask and always reach out and get support from everyone else in the group as well, because that's how you get the most value from it. And that's how you will absolutely make the most of your business success, is by, I guess, surrendering a little bit and not being scared to ask the question. Even if you think it sounds silly, it's not a silly question. There are literally no silly questions. The things I've had to Google, oh my goodness, the most basic things. I was doing my sales page all day today. And yes, I'm great at building a business, but I'm not great at the ins and outs and technical website builds. That's definitely not my zone of genius. So like, there is literally no stupid thing. There's so many different things you have to know to build a business. So absolutely, like, meeting people where they're at and exactly where you're at in your business. It may well be that you want to go a bit faster and you want to get to 6 figures by June. In that case, we customize that roadmap for you. It may be that you're right at the beginning and you really just need a crash course in social selling, or you just want to know how to do Instagram. So it's going to be completely customized. That session, that strategy session, is going to be customized for you. The rest is going to be in that group container where you can ask the questions, implement in between, and keep moving along and make sure that you're making the progress that you want to. So any questions, any other questions about it? Oh, Esther, okay. Do you have a tip how not to burn out in sales calls and reaching out? Yeah, it's a really good question. So a few things. I would make sure that when you're having your sales calls, you have a process before you get on the call, that you're asking them a few key questions. It could be on the messenger, or it could be in a form. So when I was doing just private coaching, I made people fill out a form before having a call, because that helps me. And also I put my price on the form, and it really helped, because I could see if people didn't submit the form, we probably weren't going to be having a call. But I did give the option of saying, I don't have the investment right now, but I'd love to hear different options, which then opens the door for you to maybe recommend something else. Maybe I just recommended they come to the Facebook group, which is free, or I recommended I have a resource for them, which is also free, that I can send them. So that's one thing, just having a qualification process, so you're not spending a lot of time on sales calls with people, and then you find at the end they don't have the money, or they don't have the time, or they actually just didn't want to work with you. Just something, it does happen, I promise. So having that clarity and making people step up a little bit and saying, look, at the end of this call, I'm going to recommend something to you. It may not be this thing, it may be something else, but you're serious about having this conversation about you moving forwards. At least that always really helps. I hope that helped, Esther. And like reaching out to clients via DM, yes, it does take time, and that's where your content comes in to help support you in that. So it's not just you sending thousands and thousands of messages, your content kind of plays a part as well. Another thing as well is to raise your visibility, is to work on your website and do a long-term, this is not short-term, but a long-term SEO strategy. So you can start to grow some traffic through that. Christy, do you have a tip for an in-person meeting with a potential client? How do I keep on track and not last for hours? Okay, it's a really good question. If you want to keep people on track, you have to really guide and lead the meeting. So I would always open it with I'm so glad we've got this 30 minutes together, or hour. The way I'd love to have this conversation with you is I'm going to ask you some questions, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do that. Does that sound good? And get their buy-in so that you keep them on track. Another good way is to not ask them loads and loads of questions. So being mindful of asking too many open questions, because they will just keep answering them. So if you want to cut it short, maybe just think about that. It's hard for me because I do talk. So yeah, I have to be disciplined with myself as well on that, especially if you enjoy them and you enjoy the company. But also I would just very much from the beginning, just set the time frame and say, I'm so sorry, I've got a hard stop, or whatever you want to say. I have another meeting. So I'd love to make sure we've reached some sort of whatever by the end of that. Okay. Amazing. So our time together is coming to an end. So if you haven't yet jumped in, if you haven't yet had a call with me about the program and you want to, please do, because I'm going to be closing the group. I'm actually closing it tomorrow UK time to allow my US ladies a bit more time, because I know there are some people who really want to have some conversations first before coming in. So the doors close tomorrow UK time at noon. All the content's going away, everything's moving into the paid, and we are going to be onboarding our new clients and our new members into the program. So if you haven't reached out to have a chat and really just ask me any questions that you still have, any doubts, literally anything that's coming up for you, just let me know, because I know that this will help you get there faster. So if you are struggling with thinking about investment and sitting on the fence and feeling very unsure, I would love to have a conversation to help you through it. Either way, if it's a yes or a no, just to make sure you've made the right one for you. So go ahead and book that. I'm really excited to be working with the ladies who are in the group already, and I really hope to welcome some more of you in. The price is going to go up when I close the door on the cart tomorrow. So if you do want to get in on the founding member price of £800 a month, then please do get in touch with me before it closes. Otherwise, it's going up to £860 a month for the next round. There's absolutely no reason why you can't join. I would just hate for you to be paying more when you don't need to be, if you know that you want to do it. Okay. Any questions? Anyone thinking about, I'm thinking about what I'm going to have for dinner, to be honest. Anything that's come up this week that you want to get more clarity on, because I'm here, I can answer your questions now, or you can just go ahead and DM me and make sure that we have a chance to discuss if you are feeling moved to come and work together in the Fearless Entrepreneur next year. I would be absolutely thrilled to have you. Oh, this has been so amazing. Can I just take a moment to thank you all so much for an amazing, amazing week. And I really hope that you've had a lot of value and that you do have a really clear map of where you want to go and a really good understanding of all the things you need to be doing, really, and the things that you don't need to be doing. Thanks, Esther. Christy, should I take paper engagement letters with me? Yes. Absolutely. Sorry, Christy and I were talking earlier. She's got an exciting meeting coming up. So yes, absolutely. Take the letter with you, 100%. Thank you. Oh, thanks everyone so much. And I will see you very soon. If you're not going to come into the program this time, make sure you come and join the Facebook group if you're not already in there, my Ambitious Fearless group, because that's free. I'm in there a lot. There's a lot of training and there's a lot of resources in there too. Okay, thanks everyone. Have wonderful days. Have wonderful evenings. Bye.